All right. Where we left off, guys, you had a load of wine, if I'm not mistaken, and you began a journey back to Vallaki. Uh, am I correct in saying that you guys were given donkeys or something to
We
pull
were
the
given
cart?
a
I think
cart.
that's how you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So where I promised though we'd pick up from is you guys were stopping for a rest, and Valaraksha, wanted to attune to the staff that you had. So uh, we're going to go ahead and just start from there, if that's okay.
Where ish are we stopping?
Oops, hold on. Ooh, that's crazy. You are, let me scroll back out a little bit. You didn't get too terribly far. I would say somewhere over here.
All right.
I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys
Which map
find
are we?
yourselves.
Uh,
Oh, it's there's a nipple on the bottom. Maybe you can't see it. I'll put it there again. Map Barovia. So in the chat, if you go on the bottom
Thank
left,
you.
you'll see. Yep, everyone's there.
you can drag that down into the same bar that you did your D save to, by the way.
Yeah, this is a good one to have because this is the overall map, and as it gets revealed, you can refer to it. Okay. So as you guys, well, actually, I just realized I need to technically do a check here. Oh, ooh, just barely. Yeah. So you have no issues setting up camp and building some fortifications, and Val begins the process of attuning to his staff. Now, Val, if I'm not mistaken, you don't have normal dreams. It's just that when you're sleeping, you normally communicate with Raksha, right?
Right. Yeah, it's not like
Okay.
super clear, like I say stuff
Right.
and she says stuff back or anything, but yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah. So darkness surrounds you as you go to communicate with Raksha, but instead of that translucent planes you traverse, and you sort of have impressions of communications, you are instead surrounded by the branches of some tree in every direction with pulsing blood, almost like a motif. Everything you see is covered in it. In fact, I can give something to give uh, an appearance to this. And by the way, those of you that are resting, and I realize that Medic is probably the one watching since he doesn't technically sleep, so he'd be the only one exempt. But the rest of you that are resting, you're all seeing this except from the outside looking in. So that's also very atypical. But you see these branches in a blood red background surrounding it. And everywhere you look, that's what you see. Except that when you turn to the right, you see an image of an old man walking alongside you, hair as white as snow. He smiles at you and says in a strange voice with an accent you've not heard. And he says, I've never seen so clearly, except when I look behind your eyes at a reflection. And you see a guy that looks a bit like this. And you realize that doesn't look like you expect, and you find yourself pointing that out. He goes, your mind has perceptions of what wisdom I give you, and is shaping this image of me unconsciously. You might not think it's what you expect me to look like, but you have only deceived yourself. You find yourself talking without even thinking about it. Why is this so different? As you look around, it's clear. He talks and says again, the effects of the staff. No doubt it links to a blood tree named Gulthias. It's a splinter, or rather a collection of them bound with the dried flesh of sacrifices. Raksha appears to be keeping the ever-twisting vines away from his person easily, but as you look down, you notice they're slowly winding their way onto and then into your legs, though you don't feel impeded by them. You don't feel pain. Raksha turns to you and to face you, and he looks at you, grabbing you around the shoulders with human-like arms, and pivots you to face him. Armandus has come into contact with a fallen spirit, but it doesn't feel complete. It is. He pauses as he tries to find the word. A A seed or a sliver of a dark power. It is incomplete, but far more powerful here than he should be. He pauses for just a moment, catching his breath or thinking on the words. Even as a seed as strong as me, if we were both completely on the same plane, the full being must be well beyond me. He glances at the roots. They reach into your legs and climb under your skin. They start to look like veins pulsing, but it's of the wood and the roots from a tree that you've yet to see. I will do what I can to keep that from poisoning you. It has power over living plants of similar nature. It definitely gives you an advantage, but I can help give you defense against the darker elements. You feel it start to shiver and shake as the non-dream, the vision, whatever it is, begins to break apart. You have but moments if you have a question.
Anyone?
I don't think I do.
All
How
right.
do I keep the darkness at bay?
Oh, you shout against from the outside in. Give me a perception check, Val, to see if you're even aware that they're watching. He is unable to hear you ask the question, and as such, neither does Raksha. And you now will have enabled, or I'm going to make sure it's enabled, the staff of Gulthias. I think that's in there. Gulthias' staff, yeah. For those who are interested in reading it, there it is in the bottom left. Your night passes otherwise uneventfully, and you can begin your journey on to Vallaki.
Now, did you read this well to make sure it can't be, put to... It can't be overpowered or anything,
Broken?
so you might have to break it again, break another weapon?
Okay. I've not broken any weapons.
Mm-hmm.
You have broken weapons. You are the weapon breaker. In fact, I'm going to add that to your name.
Mm-hmm.
Dietrich, weapon breaker.
/ dog killer.
Oh my gosh, I hate you so much.
No, puppy killer.
All right. Your name has been updated.
Soul stealer.
Dietrich, weapon breaker is... Anyway, I did read that staff, and I did tweak some language in it just to
good.
make sure. Just to make sure that Val doesn't find a way to break it. Anyway, so you can begin your journeys. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
At the beginning of the day when we wake up, I will return Armundus's weapons to him.
Okay. You do that. All right, so you guys had some, I'm sure, some leftover rations. You could have picked some up from the winery as well, so I'm not going to worry about trying to track that. You make relatively good time. It's overcast, and that's fine, and you get one more for the road, and you're still fine. You guys are actually able to make Vallaki before nightfall the next day.
Nice.
The guys had already pressed on you guys this morning. There was another pulse and tension as it wound about you, but it is still not to the point of being crippling and incapacitating. You are now in the town of Vallaki. As you look around, the people there are beginning the celebrations of yet another ceremony of some sort. You've come to realize, though, this is about as common as a thing can be. I will go ahead and place this map here again in case you need a reminder of what it looks like. It's now in the text. In the chat, I mean. Anyway, so I take it you're probably going to be heading straight to the Blue Water Inn, yes?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. All right, you guys make it there in good time, seeing as the uh, ceremonies itself, they're in preparation, they're beginning, but it's not like it's actually blocked up the whole town. In addition, the people of this town have gotten so used to them, they hardly care to celebrate them anymore. You pass a dour-looking woman who is on a mansion ledge looking down and has just sharp angled features, and you see her mutter to herself as she points. Who she's talking to, however, you can't see. It's just that she's very clearly recognizing you guys or commenting on you in some negative fashion based on her look. But you pay it no mind and make your way into the Blue Water Inn. I will go ahead and link that up just in case. For those who haven't seen it, I'll go ahead and put this up here. I don't think it really matters for our purposes. You're just returning the wine. Okay, so if there's anything you want to ask or any supplies you want to do, you feel free. They are still working the desk. Which
How much money do we have, and is there any? Has that been kept track of?
in some cases, yes. So if I go to party sheet, I'm not manually doing it, but there is a reference to money in there.
We have
Inventory.
3 gold.
Mm,
And I do have a
Diedrich has
question.
11.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
have a,
never mind. I just remember how rich our other party is, and I'm like, man, maybe there's a shop we could buy stuff at.
I have a question about
Or-
the wine. Was that just like our wine in general, or were we actually making a delivery?
We're delivering.
You're
You're doing
making
a
a
delivery,
delivery.
and you were given a few bottles. You asked for it, and they
Yep.
gave you.
I want
In
to
fact, you have
go
one
up.
of the finest ones.
I'll go up to the bartender and give him the bottle of the finest one and say, my apologies for the last scuffle last time I was here. Please take this gift of mine. No hard feelings. I hope.
Wow, that's the. As a GM, I don't even know what it's like to have people be polite to everyone.
It's not used to with us. Oh,
Like,
I'll sell
I
this
don't
to
know
you
how
for
to respond.
1,000 gold.
I'm about to cry. It's just so beautiful. Anyway, he's extremely appreciative. One of them, it's a Mardukov. I think that Danica would probably be the one you would have met this time of day. That's the wife. Anyway, she's extremely thankful and says to you that the room and board's on her. As long as you guys need the place, you can use it. She's appreciative, and if there's anything else she can do to help, she will gladly do it. You guys now, at the completion of this quest, can level if you so desire.
Yes, please.
For those who have not done this in a while or just don't recall, you will open the classes tab on the far right side of Fantasy Grounds, and you will, onto your main character screen, you will drag the class that you're leveling up in onto the class section of your character sheet. And it'll automatically prompt you for questions, if in fact there are some at this point.
Mine's
Yeah,
blank
I'm not-
again. I gotta import stuff. Gosh darn it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, classes are blank,
Okay,
but yeah, I need
that's
to
frustrating.
blood hunter.
Mine loaded like super fast, way faster than ever before.
Normal.
Whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just grabbed the D&D 5 whatever for it and loaded just that module.
Okay. Well, so some of this is faster for sure then for you guys. That's good. That might be part of why it may not actually be loading these things till you need them.
So, since there's an ability score improvement, how would you do that?
Oh, you have one at 6?
Dang.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so we put it in manually. I'm trying to figure out which did that. Was that from? Oh yeah, 6,
Click it.
8, 12. You get it a lot. Holy crap, man.
Yeah, you
That's
click over your building and just type the new number in.
yeah. It won't have a
Oh.
flashing bar.
One thing you may want to know is you can also get a feat instead of an ability increase, which can
He's
be
got
really
2
cool.
perfectly good ones. I don't know why he would do that.
You can get some super powerful feats. I'll just ignore the dad joke.
Oh, so good. I'm looking to see if I can find this guy's name again.
Where are the feats?
If you don't see the tab, you have to go to the library button in the bottom right, and then enable the
You have
tab
to
that
select
says
feats.
feats.
Gotcha.
And then you might have to load modules as well.
Although if he got the one with his class in it, he's probably okay. But keep in mind that is in fact an exchange. You're choosing to not do an ability update. If you do
Yeah.
that.
It only looks like there's one feat that I could get, so I'll probably just go with the bonus of the.
Something's not right if you only have one. There should be a bunch. Okay,
At
I've
least
clicked something.
2, unless you have a peg leg.
Yeah, I have 2 pages of them. So where a lot
You
of them
probably have to
are,
load
and this might
modules.
help you, like Gem Fighter, you need to load underworld races and classes. Oh, that's cool. So Gem Fighter is in your hands. A jewel could be as deadly as a blade. So long as a jewel or a gem has a value of 50 gold pieces or more, you can treat it like a dagger. When you roll natural one, a ranged attack roll with a gem or jewel, it is destroyed, but you're always considered proficient with gems. So you could literally be out throwing rubies. It's a weird concept. Ooh, Dragon Mark. So D&D Unearthed Arcana, that has a bunch, and Xanathar's Guide to Everything has a bunch. Once you've enabled those, that should give you a vastly wider range of feats to pick from. What? My kid, they just won another episode of Warzone. That's hilarious. I'm so happy for him, though. So anyway, tell me when you guys are done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Robin is 6.
Spells isn't loading
So-
me anything at all. Like, I'm trying to type cleric and it's not doing anything. Like, it's not loading any spells. And I know I opened all the modules.
Okay. I click spells as well. I'm gonna see if that.
Because I can see all the spells, but when I'm trying to filter, it's not doing it.
Yeah. Now I've hit one of those wonderful long lag times because I have too many things to load. There we go. Spells. So cleric, for example, is what you're interested in. You know, I almost don't even want to write that in
Never
there.
mind.
There's
It finally loaded it. That's so weird. It was showing blank forever, and then just all of a sudden, now I have something in the drop down. Maybe it was just a lag spike.
Yeah. Well, it's getting better. I have a hope now after this last update. I'm starting to get very discouraged because it felt like it was getting worse. All right, so you guys drop off the donkeys, and Mardukov, Danica says she'll take care of making sure they get brought back to the winery when they're done. I trusted you guys apprise them of what has been going on. So so that they're aware of how the family's doing.
Sure.
And yeah, all right. So I need a perception check from Dietrich, and you know what? We're gonna pick one of you guys. Anyone else do a D20 or yeah, D20.
Wait, so am I doing a perception or a d20?
You're doing a perception check,
Got
and
it.
anyone else can do a D20.
All right.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll just go with Brobin's since its medic is showing multiple times. Interesting. Yeah. So you don't notice anything, Diedrich. That's unusual, but Danica, however, notices a girl in a wearing a cloak in the corner of the
Is it
inn.
Is it a red cloak? I believe it was.
Well, I don't. You didn't notice anything, so
No, but
don't,
Danica did.
you don't know. Right, but she hasn't said anything to you guys. I'm just pointing out that she sees a girl over in the corner, and she nods her head and waves to her, while you guys are, not facing necessarily toward her. If any of you happen to look, no, the cloak is not red.
Dang it.
But she seems to be trying to hide her face.
So I think the girl that I shot had a red cloak.
Yeah, that does sound right. As it gets closer to the evening, at some point your uncle makes his way in and
Yeah,
makes a small chat with you.
I'd like to apprise him of the situation down at the winery, and also mention the demon thing that is plaguing Armundus.
He is very well. First of all, are you saying this in front of Armundus, or are you separate?
I don't know. Is Armundus with me?
Well, I know you all went to the same place. I'm just wanting to know: are you making an intentional side conversation, or are you speaking? Because you tend to be somewhat secluded sometimes, so I don't know if you're being quiet or not.
It depends on what Armundus is doing. If he's sitting right next to me, then sure. If not, then I'd still
All right,
keep
perception
it
check,
pretty low,
Armundus. He's not trying to hide from you, but whether you happen to, by luck, overhear. Yeah, you're not paying attention. You're still spending good time chatting with Danica, I suppose. Rictavio is immediately, he furrows his brow, the gray bushy eyebrows reminding you a little bit of the way your father's eyes looked when you were a child. And he says, "This is not good. Tell me, though, have you been to the temple? Have you been to Amber Temple?"
Not yet. It is on the list.
I can't be sure. I'm afraid, though, that if it is what I think it is, the walls are breaking. The walls might very well be breaking. You see him furrow his brow some more, and he rubs his forehead almost in this pattern of frustration. Has he acted any differently?
There has not been much time, so as of yet, I would say no.
Right. I would think if he had made deal, would be able to tell. I would keep an eye on him. I can't sense anything, but that doesn't mean much.
Of course.
He casts a very wary eye toward Armundus, and as the night wears on, it seems to be his closest topic of interest. In fact, he starts to get up after having had a couple drinks, and he slides over to Armundus, and he starts making idle chat with you, just asking you where you're from, what you've been doing, etc., etc. And he's gauging to see whether there is any fluctuation in your answers that would indicate volatility. and he becomes satisfied after some time that you don't seem to be giving off signs of having made a deal, a contract. And whatever it is that's in you isn't so overwhelming that he or the others around can't feel it.
Do I pick up that he's trying to gain this information from me, or is he just
Yeah,
curious?
go ahead and perception, insight with advantage. You're unable to tell. You're not sure.
Just kind of casually talk to.
Of interrogation, so to speak. He's using just regular conversational tone, but trying to detect if something is off with Armandus, and he's unable to see anything. Armandus just thinks he's being friendly.
Cast Zone of Truth.
Zone of Truth. Is that the spell you got for this level or something?
Yes.
That's hilarious. Are you going to actually cast it?
Heck yes, I'm going to cast it.
And who are you? You're surrounding Armandus and...
I can target a person, but... Oh, wait.
Who are you targeting then?
There's an area. A magical
It's a
zone
zone,
that guards
15
against
foot.
deception is 15 foot, yeah. So I will cast it on between Armandus and what's his face. Or I guess just a 15-foot area that covers them, and they have to make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, they can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
Okay. Give
I
me a
know whether
charisma
they
save.
succeed or fail.
Oh,
Who,
yeah,
me?
okay. No.
Oh.
Armandus, throw a charisma save into the tower.
It does not say what it saves on, though.
Well, it's a charisma save.
Yeah, but it should be whatever your current spell proficiency is.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's going to be a spell proficiency, yeah. All right. Just a second. All right, so the spell surrounds, and just a second. And the group, it continues on conversationally, and those of you who are aware may realize the spell has gone down. Maybe not. Medic, did you try to cast that surreptitiously?
I mean, I don't think it's a chant. Let me make sure it's not something that takes like forever to cast. Not a ritual. Casting time, a bonus action. So I could have like just cast it.
Yeah, you farted it. Yeah, you could have farted that thing out.
No, I clicked the wrong thing. It's one action, so I still could have done it quick.
Yeah, that's only a few seconds, really. 4 or 5 seconds, something like that. Okay. So yeah, fair enough. He wouldn't know, therefore, that you cast on him, I don't think, right? Because you would have been behind him. You know the results of it. And now, so if you wanted to apply a question to him over the next minute, you or Victavio or anyone, you may.
Well, I just want them to keep talking. So wait, what was the line of questioning they were going for?
Victavio was asking questions also all over the place, where he was from, what he's been doing, stuff like that, trying to see if there's weird patterns in his responses or delays that don't make sense. Stuff like that, little clues to see if he's possessed, and he couldn't find anything. But if you know the effect is a spell has been cast, then
definitely on.
You could encourage.
So I let Rictavio know, and I basically let everyone kind of know, except for Armandus. Ask him questions, he can't lie. Did you kill him? I ask Armandus.
Kill who?
Him.
What?
Who's him?
Hopefully, I was trying to coach a fake a murder out of you. Like maybe if you killed a man, you'd be like, I did. I'm like, aha, I knew it.
I think his fair response that he would say who.
Yeah,
Armandus,
who are you talking about? Who's
Which
him?
one?
Have
I'm sure I haven't killed as many as Soul Taker over here, but
That's
That's
probably
true.
true. That's definitely true, actually.
Oh, so we're trying to see if Armandus is possessed, right?
yeah.
I guess I just flat out ask him, "Are you possessed? Do you feel anything tugging at you in a way that is not normal?"
I guess I don't feel anything really tugging me. There's I've been offered power.
Ah! By who?
I don't know who, technically, but it
Can you ask them his name?
doesn't really work that way.
Or does it? Have you tried?
Have you tried? Tell the truth.
Sure, I can try.
So he goes internal for a moment. You see him just sort of looking at his beverage in front of him, and you get a voice
sorry, I
coming
didn't
back
know
to
my-
you.
Apparently it's Mariksha.
And Val, you immediately get this recognition. Meriksha is a name that your symbiote, or whatever you want to call it, that spirit recognizes. Raksha knows it, though you can't communicate
Well, it
more
rhymes
clearly
with
than that.
Valraksha.
Meriksha, Vallaki, yeah.
I
So-
will relay that to the group.
I
Indeed.
asked Val if it's a benevolent spirit.
Well, I think you guys are already
Mm.
aware that.
Yeah, we fought it.
Totally forgot. So that spirit's in him, so clearly there's an issue.
So the spirit in him, is it affected by the spell as well?
Ooh.
That's interesting.
Ooh. Oh wait. That's true. I was getting ready to ask, wait, maybe the spirit, but I realized what you're asking would have just been like a logic loop.
Yes.
So can we speak directly to the spirit? Can it?
Well,
it
you can
come
speak to
forward?
Armandus.
I know, but Armandus, can that spirit be brought forward so we can speak directly to?
I'll request it, and I'll ask it to come forward and speak with my companion. It doesn't want to.
But we can have him ask it questions and it can't lie to him.
Right, right.
So it doesn't matter if it won't speak to us. We can have him ask questions for us and it can't lie to him. So quick, Val, you know this thing. What questions do we have?
I don't know.
What's
Um,
its next
What?
step? What is it want next?
What's its end game?
Well, like, I mean, we know.
That's how the
I
robot
mean,
sounded.
he wants me to leave you losers. That's one thing he wants me to do. Right.
Does he mean harm to you?
I would expect so, since power
him.
never
Ask him.
comes for
He
free.
can't lie to you. Ask
He
him.
can't lie. That's what I'm asking.
You
Okay,
ask him. Does
I'll
he mean harm to you?
He says power is not harm.
Indirectly.
Agree, but how am I to know?
Then why haven't you
in
accepted?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Why have I not accepted?
Mm-hmm.
I'm uncomfortable with what he wants me to do.
What does he want?
And
me
what
to
is
do?
that?
Sexual in nature.
Has the minute been up yet?
Sexual.
No, we're asking. We are firing these
I think
questions
so.
off.
What does he want you to do?
This is the last question you're gonna be able to get through.
I want my question answered. We asked at the same time, so he has to answer his question and my question.
Each of you roll a d20, and that's what question goes through.
Oh, mine's way better.
But Scott, if he answers our question, we're gonna know
That's
if
true.
it's sexual in nature.
I'll
Haha!
just
He has
let
to
him
answer
ask his
both.
question.
So which question am I going to be asking?
What does he want you to do?
He just wants me to take something that's precious from somebody.
Oh, probably a soul or something. Those are very precious, or a limb or an organ. Medic knows all these things are precious to the soft fleshy types.
Oh, I wasn't thinking anything that extreme.
I don't know why.
I'm in the camera right now. You look so exasperated.
So, given this new information,
How do I reply back to you in chat? Just straight back to you, just a
You can do
You
slash.
type
slash
no, you
W.
type /W GM
Uh-huh.
and then type your sentence.
Slash W space GM space whatever you want to say.
Please screw it up.
He was smart. He tested anyway. He did a test one.
Dang it.
Hey, I know Wolvie personally, and so I know he can slip things in. You always got to test it and verify.
does.
Well, I
That's what she
like
said.
the guy.
he does slip things in.
He's great at slipping things in.
And most of the time, people don't even realize it because it's just
Hey,
that small.
well, as
So
you always say, number one rule, right?
You got it.
That's a foot? That doesn't look like a foot. I
That's
thought
weird.
that was 2 inches.
That's weird.
So weird.
So I
man.
don't, given this new information, I don't feel comfortable with him just.
I don't
walking
either.
around. So I think the shackles go back on and the weapons come back off.
I'm gonna kind of not do a middle ground here and say, if he's forthright with everything to us, rather than kind of talking in ambiguity, I'd be much more comfortable in not. And I would prefer not to handcuff and take weapons.
I kind of see an issue with that at this point, but we'll see how this plays out.
Armandus, do you have a response?
Oh, sorry, I've been. What
He
was the
looked
question?
distracted as he was having a conversation on the side.
It's being requested of the group to rebind and disarm you. My stance was I'd prefer not to, but it depends on how forthright you are with the questions, because so far you've been talking pretty
Secretively.
Yes, pretty general.
I guess I've never had somebody internally talk to me before, so it's hard for me to understand what the hell's going on. It seems to be this place. I've heard the winds of pandemonium drive people mad, and I hope that I'm not on that route. But how does one know if they're going?
What did it ask you to do?
What does it want you to take?
He doesn't have to answer. He doesn't have to answer anymore if he doesn't desire.
No, you're right. He doesn't.
But
But
that's-
he's
he
about
does
to
not.
get reshackled. And that wasn't even my suggestion this time.
And honestly, even though I didn't know I was compelled in the first place to answer truthfully, I am still willing to continue the questioning because this is very strange, and I've seen very strange things going on here. And I know this place is evil, and whatever this thing is wants to be free of its prison.
So what does it want you to take?
Is
and
prison
from
you
whom?
right now, or is it something else?
No, its prison is somewhere to the south.
Is it in the Ember Temple?
I am not sure.
Danica, I do not know what it is you mean. Who exactly are you speaking of?
Danica looks at you a little bit confused, surprised you don't seem to know what she's talking about, and says,
Well, you know, honey, Stefania over there, in the corner. She has been looking at you all night. You know Stefania, right?
I do not
The
believe.
Murkoff's daughter? Yeah, she clearly knows you.
Do I know
She
her?
clearly knows you.
"Oh yeah, she's the one who left a note in your pack.
Oh crap!
She was the one who was offered."
Remind me. Oh, is she the one from the winery?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, now we have now I have a stalker.
Nice.
How old
I
is she?
try to high
Don't
five
worry,
you.
she's like 16 or 17. She's old enough
I
to
mean,
get married. Well,
yeah, well, I mean, there is
Vic
that.
holds
But...
up a hand for a crisp high five.
I'll just kind of shake my head and continue on the questioning of Armandus for a minute and kind of warily kind of keep my eye on Stefania here.
By the way, for your last question, I'd prefer not to be shackled, especially if we're on the road and we get jumped by something. I would like to be able to defend myself and everyone else.
That is why I was not in favor of that, but at the same time, like our colleague Brobin has said, we need some more information here. This is obviously a situation we do not understand, and that makes it dangerous.
It seems like whatever this thing is wants out of its prison and is willing to grant power to be released.
I scan my data banks, and from a parallel dimension, I think of all the times that this other group has released things from the prison in promise of power. How poorly it turned out for the citizens of that world.
I mean, it worked out well for at least one of them.
And it worked out good for us, but the people of that world it worked out poorly for, especially the people of that bar.
Well, that is why I'm skeptical of this.
What did it ask you to take and from whom?
Well, it seems to have changed its mind since I told you all about it.
But what did it ask you to take and from whom?
Just something precious.
From who?
It wasn't very specific from anybody.
That is not specific.
well,
Hold
Yeah.
on a second.
there wasn't a very direct question ever posed of it before.
Well, yeah.
No, you already did, Armandus. You gave a specific request, and it gave you then a specific task to get that.
Gotcha.
It's like the man in can't remember the name of the show.
The High Castle.
Anyway, no, you would go to this man at the and he's at a diner at the last table, and you'd give him some impossible thing that you want, and he would tell you what you would have to do in order to get that. And it's often very strange, such as this. Armandus, you are familiar with the line of jinns, and you know that this is not a jinn. Clearly is not. But there is a certain nature, shall we say, to creatures of this type, to beings of this ability. And not all of them are, benevolent. Some of them are capricious. And so there can be interpretation on either side of what those things would mean in some cases. So you would probably naturally be a little bit leery of the verbiage and wording anyway.
And the more vague and open it is, the more you're going to get screwed in the.
Right.
Is there anything else that we should know about your conversations with him?
I have not been very favorable to him, but yet he's persistent.
All right. Robin, does this satisfy you? I feel he has been pretty honest with us.
Well, I mean, you know him much better than I do, so.
And that is not very much at all, but still.
Yeah, I mean, if the rest of the group is okay with that, then I'll go with that.
Armandus, let us make, as they say, a deal. Please, and I know you technically do not have to keep your word on this, but anything new that comes from the demon, please keep us informed. Does that sound reasonable?
I will do my best.
Do I believe him? Was he lying? Insight check.
Yeah, I'll let you do an insight check.
Ooh, yeah! Were you lying?
You believe he was telling the truth.
Alright, sweet.
He seems, in general, Armandus seems to be a very straightforward person.
I've always gotten that from him, but you never know.
Well, apparently you do know, because you rolled so high.
Yeah, now I do know. Yep. Alright, I believe him. I have to take care of this with this girl, so I'll be right back.
As you guys are talking, the door opens to the inn, and a well-dressed man steps in, and immediately, Diedrich, you recognize him.
Oh, no.
He's not even looking at you, and he sees the girl in the corner, and he says,
oh my gosh.
Hello, lovely. You are beautiful.
I
You're
hate
just
this
now
guy.
in your prime, are you not? It's very nice to see you. I have not seen you in this area. And you recognize immediately it's Vasily in his rather nice clothes, and beginning to pay attention to Danica, and she blushes because she's a bit embarrassed, and she realizes that you see her, Diedrich, and she blushes even more, and she says quickly to Vasily, that's my future husband over there. He's coming over here to say hi. I've already got a boyfriend. And she pats the table or the chair next to her, that bench, and is trying to encourage you to sit down. And Vasily turns it to you and he scowls a little bit. It's always you, always trying to get in the way of just natural relationships. I have no plans for her. Frankly, I'm more interested in Irina. She's so beautiful. She's elegant. She's older. She's at my place. I won that fight. I could win this one too if I wanted to. Did you ever get my armor?
We have not
Oh,
yet
crap.
received your armor. It is on the list. Trust me, it is on the list.
Yes. And he leans in close to the girl and he winks. He goes, some guys don't know how to get things done. Trust me, you'll find out with this one. If you need advice.
Speaking of girls, have you seen Irina? We have not seen her
I
since.
just told
She
you.
said she's at his place.
Oh shit! I
I just told you.
I was distracted.
She is mwah. And he does the like little fingers together and kisses it, and like, like it's some great food. And he says, "She is delectable beauty."
As long as she is safe, then safe and well. Eh.
Oh,
Oh goodness.
I will
You're
ravage
just
her.
inviting, yeah, you're just inviting him to say terrible things. Upon
Yeah.
hearing that you're going to ravage her, Medic determines that means she's not safe and wants to fight you.
Yes. Fight him.
Okay, so what are you doing? Bring up like fisticuffs?
I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth and ask her, you're really going to ravage her.
Oh no. Why?
It's the greatest spell ever.
Wait, what spell are you doing?
Zone of Truth! To see if he's
Oh, okay.
making things up.
Okay, go ahead. So you're
Yeah.
gonna ask him something?
Yeah, did he fail? He has to do a charisma save. And I will know if he fails it or not.
Oh, that's right.
Ah, lame. Never mind. He succeeded. Apparently.
So
Of course, I can't see the
Well,
dice, so the DM could just be lying.
Did that
Oh,
that work?
That's an old. Yeah, it says 3.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it says 3.
I see 4, so it must be
Jail
random.
Batman 3.
Mine says
What?
18.
Yeah, it's 18. It seriously says 3 for you? No
No.
joke.
No.
Oh, you weird ding dong.
I was trying to trick
It made
you.
me think there was new technology because I did a drag and drop. I dragged from the tower on just onto the text, and that's
Gotcha.
what it shows.
So
Although I did the tower so they wouldn't know, but I realized you would just tell them, so it's not like it mattered. But
Right.
anyway,
Yeah, he succeeds. I can't. He succeeded my Zone of Truth.
Vasily, last we saw you, it seemed that Irina was lost. Where did she go?
I'm sorry, I was in a side conversation. What did you ask?
Last time we saw Irina and him, Irina left and he didn't know where she was. So I kind of am basically looking for the correlation of how she came back or whatever, or where she went.
Yeah, okay, so he ends up describing to you that he found her like a little lost sheep walking around, and as a strong man that he tends to be, he swooped in and guided her
I want to beat
to
this guy
somewhere
up so
safe
bad.
and warm in place. And that she was happy to fall into his strong arms, like he knew she would.
I say she would just want to beat the heck out of this guy. But we'll wait. Alright, well, I'll sit down next to Stefania and try and figure out whatever is going on and how to keep her from stalking me, because that doesn't seem very safe.
Medic hears that he's trying to figure this out, and he starts explaining to him birds and the bees.
Oh gosh. Why?
So a bee flies around, looks for the pistol on a flower. Oh man. Yeah, okay. So you explain the birds and the bees, and Vasily reminds you yet again to find his armor, that there's a great reward for it, although maybe at this point you should just keep the armor because it's pretty good as well. And he goes in, gets a drink. He seems to know everyone in town and is very, boisterous.
What was our next target after we got back? Did we have a place we were looking for from the vineyard?
No, we need to decide that, I believe.
Okay. Wasn't there a place with a
Technically,
spear?
right, yeah. So Yesterhill is back the way you came. Along the way, you could explore the cavern that you were going to clear out. And the Baba Lysaga is supposedly to the south as well. That's also Yester Hill.
So we could hit 3 things up if we went that way.
Yeah,
Where's this armor deal? Is that Yester Hill?
No, that's going to be more to the east.
Okay.
It's out. Vallaki go to the east, actually closer to Raven Loft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to check out that cave underneath. Seemed very in. If that's what
Okay.
we're talking about.
All right. Well,
So it is evening at this point. Are you guys going to stay inside for the night?
Yeah.
I need to kind of get rid of Stefania here. In a nice but
okay.
in a polite way.
Okay. Go ahead and what are you going to say to her then?
Stefania, what brings you here?
I think you know. Come on.
Unfortunately, I may, but it is. I would
Yeah.
say this is not safe for you.
And she sort of tries to lean in towards you.
That's really distracting.
She goes, "Oh, I distract you."
No, your voice.
Shit. She leans into you. And yeah, she clearly makes it obvious that she'd feel perfectly safe in your arms or near you, but that you need to follow proper process. She's not like one of those common Vallaki girls. She looks forward to a lasting, healthy relationship with you.
Medic points out that he's a cleric and could perform a wedding ceremony.
Oh my gosh.
She blushes. She just turns beet red. She goes, "Could you really?" And she's
No.
starts like,
He
I
Yes,
cannot.
have to
ma'am.
tell like my dad and my family, but my auntie and uncle are here.
No. Now is definitely not the time for weddings. Perhaps later at an unknown to be determined time. Maybe yes, because I could be dead here in a couple weeks. You never know.
That's true.
No. We can adventure together. How fun that would be.
I'm gonna walk up to Wolvie here.
Vomit.
Yeah, and put my arm kind of up, around his shoulders
no.
and be like, "Hey, are you ready to go? Are you ready for to head up to the?"
I imagine that's what you sound like to people. Sorry.
and I kind of
Wait.
I kind of give him a
You
look,
just-
like a wink, like just
Oh my gosh.
just go with it.
I don't know which is worse right now.
She looks at you and you're very tall and intimidating, and she says,
Get your pecker away from my man.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
not like that.
she quickly corrects as she realizes what she's.
I mean, like your beak, your mouth. Get away from my man.
Your man, I'm just confused because we've been together for years, so I think you might be confused.
Roll a deceit.
Oh my
I wanna
gosh, I don't know what to do about this.
As Armandus pulls out a T-shirt and gives it to him. I texted it to you guys.
Wait, what?
What's the?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say a T-shirt. Where did you get that? But yeah, roll deception.
Oh my
I'm gonna
gosh.
forward this to Brad so he gets it as well.
If
That's
we could
hilarious.
make a picture of like my other character named Pecker and put that on that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Robin, you are very convincing. Maybe it's just because you can't read the facial features or vocal inflections of an Aarakocra, but she immediately starts to tear up
I'm looking
and
really uncomfortable with this entire situation.
and reaches out to you and basically says,
I thought you were gonna be the one.
I,
Maybe I can cure you. I can cure you from this. You know, maybe you were stuck by yourself somewhere and you felt like you didn't have a choice, but I could change you back.
oh my gosh.
I'm just gonna
Well,
just
first of all,
just
nah,
roll my eyes and just walk away.
just everyone stop. I do not engage in activities with bird fellows, and at this point in my life, it is much too dangerous to marry someone like I don't even know. Can you take care of yourself? I don't know that I'm ready for a commitment. My life
She
is
pushes
very.
past you.
What?
she pushes past you and she just starts. She can't handle your excuses, and she runs to the back room of the inn, past her auntie and her uncle. And Danica looks at you and shakes her head as she's cleaning out a mug, and you can tell she's disappointed.
Is
that
Danica close?
She's on the bar, so she's probably a good 25, 30 feet away.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to Danica, because I'm just like I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't want her to get hurt. I don't even really know her, so how can I have a relationship with someone? And there is the age gap as well. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
Danica is a little disappointed at first, but understanding, and she tells you that
Well, I mean, maybe you don't find her attractive. I get that. But she should be young enough for you. And sure would like to see
Young
you know,
enough? What
something
is that supposed to
good
mean?
for her. Well, you know, she's got plenty of birthing years. She can have a whole flock of little ravens with you. Oh, you do know, right? That we're some of the last of the ravens.
Yes, I've heard.
You know that, right?
I've
Okay,
heard.
okay. I mean, if you're engaged to her, I thought surely, you know,
Where
you would.
the
Most certainly would know.
I did not
But
think that
it says
engagement even went
she's got
through.
many good years ahead. Well, she seems to think it did. Now, don't
Uh,
get all attitude on me.
Naturally, she
I'm not
does.
telling anything to you. Anyway, what goes on between you and this young lady is only at a cursory distance my business. I will mostly stay out of it, but you don't want to wait too long.
But
The
you
brood
are
that she
a
can produce at this age are much stronger before they're 21, 22. And then that stuff down there starts drying up, you know
oh
what
my
I mean?
gosh.
she's very open with you.
Yeah, apparently. Just can you talk to her and just reassure her that now is not the greatest time, and maybe in the future. I don't know. Like I told her, I could be dead in a couple weeks. Who knows? We are not exactly safe in this land. Granted, I know no one is, but especially
Medic
us.
interjects and says, "Well, if you're going to be dead in a few weeks, more isn't that the biological prerogative of all flesh-bound creatures to pass on their genes? Wouldn't this be the opportunity you need?" He's very confused.
The Modern makes a good point.
Yeah, he does. You see Danica just nodding.
You might leave behind an egg or two. I mean, they don't actually come out like eggs, but that's my way of saying it. I think it's so cute, you know? It ties the two things together. Birth and the fact that we're were ravens. It just, don't mind me.
Yes, very cute. Now, please understand, I cannot make any commitment or decision on this right now. I need to at least sleep on it. Good night.
All right. She continues taking care of business in the floor, and Rictavio still keeps watching Armandus, and your trained eyes recognize he's ever close to pulling a dagger. His hand is near a dagger in the shirt, in the sleeves. You know him well enough by now to know that he's probably pretty good with them. He's not doing anything though.
Who's trying to pull a dagger?
Just is always prepared. He's not trying.
No.
He just has it always ready. Rictavio,
Oh, okay.
your uncle.
Yeah, I didn't hear the name. All right. Well.
So you begin the rest for the night, because I imagine you're going to start your journey in the morning. Is this accurate?
Apparently.
Yes.
Okay, that's one. And
No.
okay, two. The
like I
night
said-
passes mostly uneventful. What were you asking, Armandus?
Is there anywhere here like an armory,
Do you have,
armor
Yeah.
shop?
do you have any money?
I have
Well, you can
some.
try to do something. Yeah, let's see. How much do you have, Armandus? You have
I have 12
12
gold.
gold pieces. Yeah.
Probably not
Um,
enough to get any heavy armor.
Yeah, though if you wanted to prioritize that, you'd have to go east out of town. You could try to get the armor.
I actually might be able to make him heavy armor with my channeled
Really?
Artisan's Blessing ability. I conduct an hour-long ritual that crafts non-magical item that must include some metal, simple material, a set of tools, or another metal object.
Which I'm actually an
It
armorer
can't be
as
worth no
well.
more than 100 gold. Oh, you're a forge
Oh,
cleric?
geez.
Well, no,
No.
I'm just I just
an armorer.
I'm
Oh, an armor. Oh, this is just an ability. I can just do it in an hour.
Oh, sweet.
About
But it's
100 gold.
yeah, 100 gold. It can be worth no more than 100 gold. I don't know what
Okay.
heavy armor is.
Well, generally like 1,500.
Okay,
1,000,
I can't do
100
that.
more.
I could bless
Never-
it and give it a +1.
Let's just call that a goal at some point.
I almost wanted to say go ahead and do it so I could describe the armor and what it looked like.
Did we
One
make
knuckle.
any
Twine
money?
holding a bunch of books.
Did we make any money from this wine delivery or anything?
I don't know that they offered you money.
What did they offer us?
Let me check though. It's fair. I don't think I clicked the complete quest or whatever. So if you give me a moment, I'll find it, because maybe there is money associated with it. In which case, you guys deserve it. That is the bring me wine. Oh, it inclines. Oh, that's the Vistani camp. You guys haven't delivered that wine, so this is Irwin's wine. And Irwin's wine too.
You know what though? Heavy armor.
It's to gain their
can be-
trust.
Okay.
Heavy armor
You will
technically
reveal a
is
treasure's
chainmail.
location. I have to give you a treasure's location.
Sweet.
Okay. Where does it say where it's at, though? All right, so they give you she gives you an envelope with a piece of paper and a map in there. In fact, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to give you one on the fly. One moment. It is extras. Nope. Probably under notes. Boy, this is challenging. This be adaptive thing. She says that there is a amulet of very powerful worth that's directly south of a monastery, and she gives you a note. It looks like that. She mentions, however, that the lair is occasionally re-inhabited by creatures, but that when you find the Amber Temple, if you follow this map, some of these things, these little symbols here will make sense, and you'll be able to find the lair that used to have, rumor said, a dragon, and there's potentially some very valuable stuff in there. At least for sure an amulet. At least every story seems to mention the amulet. There's probably other things as well.
That's south of the Amber Temple.
Mm-hmm. Boom. How's that for on the fly adaptation? Boom.
That
I
works.
happened to find that one earlier today. Tucked it away somewhere.
All right, so sleep and start
So
moving
you're gonna
south.
sleep. Okay. So medic, while you are watching and not actually sleeping but keeping your perceptions open, you see a rabbit hop around the corner and look at you. Little beady black glassy eyes, because the whole thing itself looks like a liquid shadow. And then it hops a little bit closer and it wiggles its nose. And before you can do
Grab
anything
it
else, it
with
just
my mechanical arm.
all right. You go to grab it and it jumps into your chest,
Oh no.
and you
Excellent.
feel an awareness come back to you as this part of you is restored.
That's interesting.
Keep in mind, 3 or 4 days ago, you guys were hit with a blast from a demon, and right after that, you started seeing a shadow bunny knocked him out of him basically, and he rolled a dice in the tower. That time is now up,
Oh.
and
Okay. I still don't know what this is, but I'm happy it's home.
So
I don't have to kill
what
my
was
friends.
missing?
I have no idea.
I'm just not saying anything because I don't know why you would know.
No, I mean, I wouldn't, but I don't know if it matters that something was gone that we didn't know and now something's back that we don't know.
Well, Medic should recognize it, and if you guys were particularly, I'll tell you what, I'll let each of you who's been with Medic for, so I guess everyone but Broban, roll a insight check. You're going to be doing a quick assessment. Medic, you may do one for yourself with advantage. Wow. So Dietrich and Medic both realize that for the last few days, though he's always quirky and confusing and strange and is clearly damaged, there was less humanity to him at the vineyard. It's this, in effect, is what gives the Warforged his soul.
So it was
It's
my soul
why
that
it
I was
looks like
trying
a
to kill
bunny.
somebody for. Excellent.
Yes. Yes. So
Now I wanna
anyway,
double
why it's a
down
bunny,
on
you don't know.
Diedrich getting married because my humanity is back. All the marriage I wanted to do before was just me passively asking. Now I really wanted to get married.
Perhaps at a later time.
I want to be your best man, or I could marry you.
Perhaps at the later time.
So messed up. All right. So in the morning, you guys come downstairs, and Danica's not there, but you do see in the corner Stefania, and she has the hood of her cloak back, and she's drinking some tea or something, some dark fluid. It's steaming, and you look at her, Dietrich, and you see a whole bunch of what looks like down stuck in her hair all over. And it looks like she got hit, got on the losing end of a pillow fight.
She
And
transformed and's been flying around and didn't transform back, right?
Stalking you.
No, she steps up as soon as she sees you, and she walks closer to you.
Oh boy.
And she's a little bit timid and nervous, but you see some of the feathers are like falling off of her, but they're not black like ravens. They're white and downy, a little more, like
Chicks.
a different type of bird's color. And
No.
It was wrong of me to assume that, you would want a raven type bird. I saw your boyfriend, and
Oh my god.
I can
They're feathers.
look like this. I can look like this if you want. I mean, this is from a pillow, but I was thinking I could have Mom dye my feathers when I'm in bird form, and maybe then you could love me. Yeah. we could carry on.
How old is she?
Like
Her
you're
voice is so
recipient.
squeaky.
It's a
She has been
very high
emotionally
voice.
tried.
Listen, Stefania, you seem like a nice girl. You're very pretty. You know, all that stuff. However,
She blushes.
I'm not even from Barovia. I am from somewhere outside of this place. What happens? I don't
So
want to be here.
exotic.
Yes, well,
So exotic.
I don't want to
I don't want to be here
spend.
either.
Can you even leave? I don't even know if that is possible.
With you, I think we could do anything.
Oh gosh.
Now you're starting to get a feel for why Davian was fine with marrying off his daughter. She's a lot of emotional baggage.
I don't know that Diedrich's got the patience for this, but he's trying to be really polite.
As long as she doesn't give you the puppy dog eye, she's safe.
That's a low blow.
That's amazing, and I'm embarrassed to
looking
say it
for,
took me a
right?
minute to realize what you're saying.
That that destroyed.
For the low blow. Hey-oh.
That destroyed Diedrich. Listen,
Aw,
Stefania,
now he's emotionally vulnerable.
that's perhaps, but I don't know that this is the way that there's gonna be any progress there.
The guy running the bar, by the way, sees the Aarakocra and goes, "Oh, good lord!" And he looks around for a note to see what it is you eat, and doesn't find one, and so he's too embarrassed to ask. He's never seen your type before. Carry on. Sorry,
So,
just wanted to point that out.
Go ahead, bro.
no, that's okay. Go ahead.
I
was just thinking that if I've never seen a giant bird before, what he eats is probably the last question on my mind. But go ahead.
Giant worm, clearly.
Right. Well, he's thinking from the perspective of a person who sees, granted, not as often, but some really weird races. I mean, even Armandus does not look human at all. Gray skin, stone-like. I mean, they see weird stuff here. Things that turn into ravens is what they do. They see things turn into wolves. I mean, it's not like real life, but at the same time, you're from another dimension, so he wouldn't have ever seen an Aarakocra before. And he is, of course, a caretaker at a hotel or a bar, and
That's
what he
true.
deals in is food.
Stefania, I appreciate what it is you are doing and want, but I'm just not in a good headspace right now for a relationship.
She sighs and just sits back down into the bench and says, tells you to go ahead and just go. She won't bother you anymore.
Be well, and I'll walk out.
And you hear her start to cry in the corner as you leave. Okay, so you guys begin your.
At this point, I go up and try to console her, and tell her basically that I understand what it's like to be judged for what you are, and that maybe she deserves someone more her type, and maybe that's a little more that knows that some of the hardships that she faces because of what she is.
You have watched
Are
that
you
movie,
saying
The
you?
Crush, right?
No.
No, I have not.
I haven't either, but I have a general idea of where this is going. Southward!
And with that, I leave her.
Well, you think you do.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so yeah. Each of you give me one last perception check. Into the tower, in fact. Throw it in the tower. Okay. 1 second here. All right, you guys head on out and begin your journey back to, well, actually, let's clarify. A lot of directions you can go. There's details regarding this mage that went mad over time. That's to the north. You don't know much about him, but that's to the north. To the east is that's hilarious, Scott. To the east is the armor and the Castle Ravenloft and several other things, including the hags. And to the west, of course, is the path back to the winery. Potentially your way to the Amber Temple. You can also do that from the east. And then to Yester Hill and the cave that you guys had started to open up.
Down for the most direct route to the most things. So I thought it was south led us to 3 things.
Yeah, west and south. Yeah, west will get you there. So you would retrace your steps, but I'd say your advantage now is that you are become much more
Know the
familiar with this
terrain.
particular path. Yeah. So you make remarkably good time. You're also not bound by a cart with wine anymore, and you make it nearly the whole way there in the first day. So by the time you actually arrive, it'll be early the next day. Let's see, it is. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you know the
1,700
train,
hours.
but what?
I thought you were rolling for the hours.
Oh, no. That's the encounters table. You roll against anything from 17 to 20 is supposed to be an encounter. So every time you guys make journeys, every 4 hours of that journey, I throw a dice. So let's see here, based on that. Be under. All right. So you guys have a river. We'll grab that one. That makes more sense. Give me a moment here to set this up. Go ahead and use the restroom if you need to.
Excellent.
Share it as soon as it's ready. Who leads the party, by the way? Who would go in the front?
With the bird?
Probably Armundus, wouldn't he? I mean, he's possessed, so we got to keep our eyes on him, and he's a fighter.
That's fair.
All right. And I guess at any point, Roman could just be flying above. And we'll put bow here, and then I'll share the screen. See if that works. Should pop up.
Oh, cool.
You'll have to click your character. Yeah, that looks pretty good based on your Twitch. All right, so you guys have you have a small bit of opening. You hear water up ahead, and there's a dense forest yet again after the opening, as you might expect. You guys have heard and seen nothing that would indicate necessarily trouble, but there is an eerie silence, as is frankly a bit usual out here. But perhaps it's a bit more than normal. You don't hear the caw of crows.
That's because Diedrich, broke all their hearts in a few minutes.
Oh my gosh, not you two. Why?
Love it. Oh, goodness sakes.
Oh, what I missed.
I did a lot of adjustments with this map, by the way, using terrain modifiers, and we're going to just see how well this plays out. I may have to do it differently in the future, but I want you to be able to tell where the forest is. I don't want to block everything off. And so on your maps where it looks sort of gray, that's occlusion because you can't see from the angle you're at.
I am tracking undead, so just as a note, I can't be surprised by
Okay.
undead.
Technically, you guys can't really be surprised anyway, as long as Val's with you.
Fair enough. So are we supposed?
By the way, Val, which staff are you carrying? Like, which one's in your hand when you walk? Are you walking with two?
Uh,
Like stilts?
probably just the quarterstaff of warning.
Okay. Figured so. All right, so go ahead and take control of your characters. Follow the road, and as necessary, I'll have you guys roll your dice when it makes sense. You should be able to see changes in the environment as you do so. Does it happen to mention the range on your warning, by the way?
Oh, sorry. Let me see.
Some interaction with... Yeah, it's being a little bit glitchy. Give it a second, it'll catch up.
It does say companions within 30 feet, but it does not give a range of the actual
Okay,
like warning. Yeah, we just can't be
that's
surprised.
fine. Okay, fair enough. So you hear the running water up ahead before you can even see it. I should actually probably click on... Yeah, Armandus can see it. Anyway, so yeah, you move forward and you see the running water. There is generally a small path you can actually walk across. It's not real clear on this map, but it's not super deep here or anything. You guys have walked across and even rolled across with the whatchamacallers. All right, so as you're moving ahead, you get the sense, Val, that there are enemies afoot, but you're unable to see any. But you're now
I
more
will.
aware, so you can no longer be surprised.
Okay, I will notify the rest of the group.
I will
Maybe ask
draw my
Robin if
weapons.
he can go above and
Yeah,
look
I'll
around.
fly up and see if I can see anything from a higher.
Oh, yeah,
height.
that makes sense. So if you're flying, Broban, I'm going to go ahead and give you a bit of a bird's eye view.
Hey-oh.
And you can actually fly back. Were you able to see stuff when I did that?
Not really.
Really? So you can't see anything here. Do I have to stop? Are you clicked on your icon?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, okay, so I don't know if you're watching a Twitch stream, but you should be able to see the map sort of looks splintered. Its lines of sight and stuff like that. Took forever to get that to work. And you should see things like right here.
I can see
here,
it
for
now.
example.
Sorry, the map was kind of strange. Yeah. Okay, I can see now.
All right, so now you have an idea of what you're dealing with and what you can see. There you go. That gives you guys a real advantage between that warning and his flying. That's impossible to really...
Yeah. Can I take another flyby?
Yeah. All right, I need you to do a dex save, Broban.
I just shot at him.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Well, would it make sense for him to do a stealth roll and for them to do perception rolls?
Nah, he didn't say he was going to try to be stealthy. All right, you see bolts go into the air, and he's a huge bird, by the way, too. I mean, he would not be normal, and I didn't do it for the first one. He just went ahead and did another flyby. I figured by then they would have prepared and gone, what the beep?
Yep.
So anyway, you
when
dodge out of the way as arrows fly into the air.
Yep. So when I get back, I'm gonna say I saw, up the road a little bit. There's about 8 or so bandits on each, about 4 on one side and 4 or 5 on the other side on the road up here. So kind of in the forest.
All right.
Oh, holy crap! I messed up.
Advance.
What?
Oh, when I built this encounter, I grabbed multiples of the wrong one.
Yeah, we're fighting a bunch of
Interesting. I don't
bandit
even know you could
lords.
survive. I reversed it. There's supposed to only be one bandit lord, and his name's Harumph Pluck.
I
Mm-hmm.
only saw. What I saw though were just bandits, and one that was a different one, but I didn't have a chance to hover over to see what it was. So, from my perspective, when you went over that, it was all bandits except for one.
Yeah, honestly, you wouldn't be able to tell that you're about to face, and I'm adjusting them to make this far more reasonable. There we go. Don't worry about the names anymore, but they have been adjusted. Okay.
Let's. I'm gonna kind of whisper to the group. Let's find the group to the right first and trying to attack them and get them out of the way.
Go through the forest.
Yeah, we would have to go through
Yeah,
the
that's pretty
forest.
smart.
That is fine. That's better than going in the middle, and basically that would be a
Ambush.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think that they wouldn't necessarily know that there were bandits yet. Travelers yet. They would know about Broben, but he was flying, so they'd have no reason for to think he would walk back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the journey is a bit dense, but you guys are able to make your way through it. Skilled forest work. Although I just realized Scott may not be back.
I'm back. I moved my guy.
Okay.
We good, dog.
All right, so
Good. You have advantage on them right now. You
Okay.
guys have not been seen.
Well, if we have advantage, I'd like to take a crossbow shot at one of them.
Okay.
And I'm going to use sharpshooter. So that'll be,
Okay.
what, -5 to the roll.
Okay.
But I've got advantage, so hopefully that works. Everyone in the spot where they wanna start from, ish.
Well, if I get any closer, they'll probably hear me,
All right.
and we'll break
Great.
it. So I'm just gonna get ready to charge in as fast as I can after he.
Yep, works. All right.
Okay.
I pre-summoned my spiritual weapon, so my spiritual weapon is up. Puppet, please.
Nice.
What's
Boom.
distance-wise, Corey? What is
Each is 5.
How far are they?
Each square is 5
Each
foot.
one is 5 foot. Okay.
You also could do some archery stuff if you guys want to coordinate your attacks. I'm gonna let
That's
you do
true.
that, Robin, if you want to do another target.
I'm not gonna shoot. They're gonna be up on us real quick, so I'm gonna keep my.
I don't care if you want to
sword and shield.
shoot.
I'm
If
gonna
each of
shoot.
you planned one person, I shouldn't be telling you guys actually how to strategize. It's your own business. All right, so Diedrich shot at.
I
All right,
missed.
there was no. You missed, but I was just making sure the range attack didn't mess up. Like it
No.
looks like it worked fine.
Well, yeah.
Did you go for that first one,
Mm-hmm.
Diedrich?
Mm-hmm.
So this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Broben, would you have gone like for the same one or a different one? If you did fire, because you're a ranger, it would have made sense to me that you would have been firing as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire on him. Hold on. I was reading something.
Yep, no problem. Oh, it's an automatic miss. You rolled a 1. And it can't find the fumble table because I don't have that enabled, but that's hilarious. Okay, so not only did you miss, but your arrow so completed the force on the other side and alerted the other bandits. So,
All right, so
That's not true.
charging now.
all right,
rolling
everyone roll
initiative?
initiative.
Yeah.
Yep, roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Where's that at? Oh, never mind.
Initiative is on your character screen, and I think it's like the middle. I have to click your character to see it, but main tab.
Yep.
Yeah, I found it.
This is definitely working better than it did last time. This interface, I mean. Because there's a lot of enemies on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not freaking out. Armandus, you actually leap into action quickly with no issues. You may go ahead and begin.
Want to move up to there? Do I get a action, or did
Yeah,
the trees
absolutely.
impede?
This is we're gonna say you have normal. Technically, this is difficult terrain, but I'm not gonna worry about it for purposes of speeding this along. So you do what you need to do.
Now with level 6, I know I've had it should just be still two attack.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, wrong one.
Whoa.
I rolled my damage first.
Yeah, but you hit. So yeah.
You did a 20. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I misread that. I'm reading the system shock, which is hidden from you guys. You're not seeing it. He resisted it, so it's okay. It's all good. That worked. That's fine. Okay, you are carving a path through this guy. Poor thing. Never did nothing to nobody.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. By the way, on the combat tracker, if you hit the little down arrow, I think that's how you end your turn.
Yes.
I can do it for you. I have been doing it, but if you click it, and then I don't have to monitor that anymore, it'll automatically ping me when it's an enemy. So click the down arrow, please. That says next actor in the combat tracker.
I gotta get the combat tracker up.
Oh, you don't have it open. Interesting. Okay. I never really thought about the fact that you can use it from the map so much. It means you don't even have to see that. Okay, that worked. Okay. Damn, Bandit Lord. Okay, so this is number 1. Where is he at? He is right here. So this guy is beginning to immediately. 1, 2. This will be 3, 4. Okay. I'm gonna put the dummy here if that's okay. What's your name? Just so it's out of the way. Make this clear. I'll put him here. Bandit Lord is going to attack you with his daggers. He's yelling at you, cursing, and he sounds like a Cockney British accent. Go. And then he has multi-attack, so he's striking with the other dagger. Why do I keep getting ranged attack? It's a dagger. Oh, it's a ranged dagger. I'm throwing the dagger. Yeah. Oh, whatever. I missed with that one. I'm not going to worry about fixing that. That's fine. Okay. That one is done with his turn. It's now Bandit Lord 5, which is this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is going to use his greatsword attack. Their multi-attack is... Oh, it's 3 melee or ranged attacks. I didn't catch that. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
So the blade comes toward Armandus. Yeah, isn't that awesome? That is awesome. We can both agree.
I don't know.
He spins.
We do agree on that.
And he misses with the second one. And he tries to do a final sweet, sexy turn. He thinks he looks cooler than he is. But he does manage to make contact with you. Blade bites deeper than his... Well, I guess not deep. Yeah, it did bite deeper. Twice as bad, actually. Cutting you in the open spots not quite covered by your half plate. Medic, you're up.
My character.
Bonk.
Boo. Well, that's my turn.
Well, what about your oh, your weapon did attack.
Yeah, he missed.
Your dummy missed.
I know.
All
I'll
right.
make fun of him.
2, 3, 5, 6. He can't do much of anything else. Oops. Gotta click on the right one again. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oop, yeah, he can make contact. He's swinging at the giant robot cleric and with a yell. There can be only one.
22? Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I have dead on 22.
Isn't that sweet? He actually made contact. I think we should be excited for this guy. Ah, darn. Okay, Val, it's your turn.
So I cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp on Bandit Lord 1. This makes so like a hand made of dirt reaches up out of the ground and tries to grab him. And he succeeds. 20.
Now, if you guys want to test your D save button, you can clear that save so you don't see the check mark anymore. Did everyone
Okay,
get that?
that is my turn.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Let's say 4. Yeah, so basically I want to get myself there. And I will... Should we try to see if flanking works here? Or should I just hit advantage?
Try it. I'll let you do it with it a second time if you didn't get a high enough one on the first one.
All right.
I want to see if it works though.
Yeah.
It should work.
Yep, it did. Sweet.
Very nice. Wow. Oh. So Sun Sword, when you pulled it out, didn't wake up.
Oh.
So he's
But
just
I'm gonna
swinging a
ignore
hill
it for
cut
now.
them?
Yeah, you just swung a hill down. I'm gonna let you. We're gonna let that one go through so we don't waste time.
All right.
But when you tried to pull Sun Sword out, you felt it. You felt a weak response from it, like it's trying to wake up, and it's close. But only 3 days have passed.
That I'm gonna roll. Oh, how long did I have on that? Or do I know?
You don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
but
gonna,
you don't.
use. We're still flanking, so I'm gonna shoot this thing again. All right.
Yep. Oh man.
Sweet.
You put it right through his neck. Swings back. His life starts to leave his eyes, and he falls to the ground.
Then I'm gonna move into his space.
Okay.
I have one more space of movement, and I will attack with my short sword. And do nothing. Cool.
He deflects it. Doing a multi-parry. Yeah, arena does not count. Broben, you're up, buddy.
Okay.
You could fly straight up if you wanted to get height for your bow or whatever, although you will get an attack of opportunity against you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, oops. I grabbed the wrong. It doesn't matter. Never mind.
Yeah, do the other dice. It's fine. Do your sword. It's okay. Because if we were playing normal pen and paper, you describe what you're doing, so it's not like. For the record, though, you didn't put the attack on him. It was enough, but
Oh, okay.
next time, Drake.
Oh, I see.
And so that damage didn't go on him either. So go ahead and do your damage again, but onto the Bandit Lord. There you go. Oh yeah.
Okay. I get one more attack, right? You get two.
I don't. It depends on the class.
Yeah, I do. It doesn't matter because that was a miss.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell you this though, unless you have dual wield, your second attack would have been just using. That's for dual. Are you dual wielding these guys? These short swords?
No.
I'll look into your class later. I don't really know. I can't remember who has it and who doesn't. You can do it with dual wield. You can get that second attack. If you don't have the dual wielding feat, however, it's just a 1d20. It's not with any of the bonuses that are on the weapon or your,
Okay.
proficiency. It's all good because you missed either way. Okay, number 4. I like how it does the initiative nowadays because it actually breaks it apart. In the other version of the game,
Yeah.
I would get all of my guys at once, which didn't feel very realistic. Sometimes it doesn't feel like the skirmish of a battle. So this guy's bringing his great sword towards you, and you dodge effortlessly because it's a clumsy attack. So he spins back around, and he actually is able to get underneath your guard on that second strike, landing a hit that actually hits deep, bites into the armor a bit, denting it, and he pulls it back for one flat of the blade smack across your head
Uh-oh.
and hits you. Still slashing. Yeah, it's bashing you right in the head. You hear a voice say to you, or talk to you in your mind, Armandus. Anyway, so that's what's occurring. And Harumph Pluck is going to go ahead and begin moving. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are pretty thoroughly surrounded. You know, he is glitched. So I will have to use someone else's attacks because by changing him, I apparently broke him. Misses. Misses. Wow, he should be very embarrassed. And misses. Wow. And oops. And now we're up to number 3, which is over here. He's just gonna 2, 3. Go. He's at
I'll
you.
use he'll be at disadvantage since Diedrich is within 5 foot of me.
Ooh. Okay.
Sweet.
I've clicked disadvantage.
Nice.
Miss. And will that hit anyway? Yep. He drew blood, and then one more.
Sweet.
And he missed the third one. That disadvantage thing's powerful. That's good. Bannerlord 2. Where is that? Oh, that's this guy. He's been suffering here. So he took a lot of damage from Diedrich just now. So I think he's going to do his attack. Oh, hit. Okay. Drop that. I just realized the map damage is working for me too. You know how earlier when I was testing it didn't work? It is now. Miss. And final one is dun, 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 dun. A hit.
Goodness sakes.
Yeah, you're suffering quite a bit at this point. It is now Armandus back up. You're bloodied. You're having a bad time, Armandus. Some of your body doesn't feel like it's responding like it should.
I want to use my second wind feature.
Okay.
So it's a D10 plus 6 hit points back.
Mm-hmm. Did I ever give you the ability as a spell? I don't think I did I?
No, I don't have it as an
Nope.
action.
I will give it to you. You can just go ahead and roll it manually right now. Just roll it plus and hit the +2 if you want. spells is the laggiest thing in this interface for me right now. So if you're lagged, that's why. Noticed that earlier today. Went to try to get the cleric spells for what's his name.
I don't know what happened there.
Just relax. It's probably there. You go. Okay, so you got 6 hit. Oh no. Which one's
No,
the?
I rolled it. The second one is just disregard that one. The first one was because it's a D10
Okay.
plus my level, so I got 13.
That's pretty sweet.
All right. It is.
And then
24 wounds. There you go. Start
and then
stitching.
I'll Bandit Lord 2. I'll start with attacking him.
What's that ability called again? Was it
Second
second
wind.
wind? Yeah. Okay. Why don't I not have it? Well,
So,
I'll try. I'll fix that later.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
glitching
you can
because I
use
messed
it
with spells again.
once before you have to
Yeah.
rest.
Nice.
So he went down.
Nice.
Oh man.
Then
Did you
I'll-
behead him or what'd you do?
whatever it took. And then I guess
Okay.
my second attack, I'll go on the Rumpf guy.
So you guys see him just. Ooh, it's a critical. Nice.
Ooh, let's go.
Wow. Yeah, you cut clean across his armor, down into his flesh, revealing down to some ribs. Okay. One is where? That right there. He is in the frenetic battle that's going on. He's probably a little confused about what he's fighting, including a dummy. And in his confusion, he manages to do. Who wants to do the 1d6? Broman, give me a 1d6. You have a chance here to do a very hilarious kill. If you roll, oh my lord, you did it. Yeah, that's actually the exact amount needed. So amidst this confusion, the flurry, the fluttering of wings, the talking dummy trying to hit him with an umbrella and whatnot, the man actually swings, but he gets deflected by a tree, bounces off of the cleric's armor, and the blade sinks right into his forehead as it comes back, and he just falls over dead, knocked unconscious, and
Awesome.
his skull split
That
open.
was planned.
Wait, I think I messed that up. It skipped back to Armandus. I think it's actually Medic's turn.
Yep.
All right, Medic.
Ooh, thank you.
Robot healing power.
Oh man, I start berating my dummy. Start berating me back.
Then you do the little girl slap war thing where like
Exactly. We're sitting there smacking each other's hands, but I'm actually just holding the dummies in my arm, making his hands smack me.
that's fantastic.
Oh, for the love of mercy. You know, you're so hard to damage with physical damage. It's crazy. I mean, it makes sense. You are a giant robot. But he wastes his time trying to hurt you, and he's just basically glancing off of your metallic frame. He's not completely missing you. It's just he's
All the while,
more
me and my
like testing
robot,
his
my
sword.
dummy are ignoring him because we're fighting with each other.
That's so great.
Exactly. So the friend, they're looking at each other. This quick panic moment of like, what do we do with this? And he's striking. Sparks are flying, but Medic's not even paying attention. Pshing. Yep. You have completely ignored two people swinging great swords at you. Sparks flying as you talk back and forth with your dummy. Val, it's your turn.
I'm going to cast a hypnotic pattern where it gets all four of these I'm not going to do the cube because it's a 30-foot cube, and I would just
Yeah.
do it where it wouldn't reach any of the allies.
Sure. All right, so you've got the targets selected. Very good. Oh, that's cool, actually. It's a cube, so that's perfect for that.
Whoa.
All right, so 3 failures and 1 success.
Nice.
Go ahead and do your...
So do I
Yeah,
need to
back on it.
deselect the one that passed or
No.
no?
No. Nope, you just do the next... As long as you don't clear the saves, when you do the effect, it does it automatically, which is pretty sweet. In fact, you'll
Okay.
see there's a
Well,
weird
it only
symbol on
it
one of
looks
them.
like it only did it to. Oh, it automatically deselected all but one. That's weird.
It's not supposed to do that. Go ahead and drag the effect on the others. I don't know.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, there you go. That is. Okay.
That's super clutch.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah, and so just to explain to everybody, if you hit them, they come out of it. So hit the dude that's not incapacitated, I guess.
All right, sweet. Then I will start smacking around with my short sword. Yep. Sweet. That just got rolled.
Yeah. Okay. It's against a system shock table. He succeeded though. It's a little extra feature I added.
Gotcha.
Give me flavor text.
All right, and I'm gonna shoot him with my crossbow. Nice. Very nice.
Oh man.
Sweet.
Another bolt through the neck.
And then I'm going to move up. And smack it. Harumph.
Oh man. He's hurting.
Yeah, he's in trouble. All right, and that's my turn.
Nice. And that puts it at Probin.
All right, I'm just gonna take some shots here.
Ooh, hello.
Ooh, we got a
Sweet.
critical.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
Ripped right through him. Your arrow hit him in the eye socket and actually punched out the back of his skull before landing harmlessly in the ground with
Oof.
brain bits all over it.
Okay, I think that's enough. Enough damage for now.
They can't do anything. They're incapacitated, right? I guess I can do saves. I'm not gonna worry
No,
about it.
I don't think there's actually
Oh.
a save. It's
Oh, even better.
concentration. Yeah.
All right, so you're just focused on keeping them contained. You guys get to chew through them at your leisure. Oops, sorry, Armandus, it's your turn.
Can I coup de grace this guy?
Yeah, describe it.
Slit his throat or chop his head off, whatever, just to basically, I don't know, the old 3.5 edition had. Yeah, I'm choosing to do a coup de grace attack on him.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is you're choosing how your character looks in this ordeal rather than me describe it. But so you are slitting his throat or you're cutting off his head. Which one are you doing?
I'll slit his throat.
All right. Your hand goes up to his mouth as you swing around him and spin him, and then the flesh parts so easily with your sharpened blade. The blood flowing over your hand and down the front of your front of his outfit as he quickly loses consciousness. Passes. Your hands are wet with warm, sticky, coppery scent in your tongue, your nose, the spray. Anyway, carry on. Is that it? Okay.
I'll move up to there. I think I only could do one of those around, right?
Well, you got the. No, I don't care. Go ahead. You can do another one. They're all stuck. Literally, your mage is literally holding a hand out there and just keeping them maintained. You guys do whatever you want.
There's no winning.
You guys
in
can
this.
describe how you finish them.
I'll capture one.
You're gonna capture.
Maybe
one?
it'd be good to capture. Should we capture one and find out maybe
I
where
dummy
they're?
bludgeons one to death with an umbrella.
Because
All
don't they
right.
have to have a hideout somewhere? Maybe
And
they
you're
have
not
some
you're
loot?
not stopping him, so he just keeps hitting with the umbrella over
I'm,
until it
I'm
turns
standing
to.
behind him, like just gently waving my hand, like, "No, don't do that, no!" And he's just like smacking him.
And it gets wet. It becomes a wet sound, like hitting a bag
Yeah,
of watermelons. Splat, splat.
Just like
Man.
splattering. I'm trying desperately to stop him. Too late.
He's all red. You're all red. The guy next to him's red. There's just this meaty splotch on the ground. All right. That's pretty messed up. So are you guys capturing this guy?
Sure. Well,
All right. He's
handcuff
gonna have to.
him.
All right. He now has a name. He's now suddenly going to be a named character. Anyway, all right, guys. It is past our game time, so you guys can decide to question him next time. Take it from there. Thanks for playing, and thanks for dealing with some of the hassles of the interface, although it is getting better.
Yep.
Definitely better.
Good time. All right. See you
Hope
guys
you had
next
fun.
week.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Have a great
Y'all have a
All
good
right.
one.
See ya.